All right, welcome into this week's Insurance Toolkit video where we try to share some information with you, YouTube, the subscriber base, and those that are learning about the toolkit in 10, 12, maybe 15 minutes, maybe less. This is sort of like our demo training compacted into as tight a format as possible. As you guys know, you can sign up with our calendar link to attend trainings on the toolkit every Monday at 9:45 a.m. and every Friday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to put that link in the description section below, and I'm going to ask that you hit the subscribe button right now. I'm going to share some information with you that's going to help you make money, that's going to help you learn about the toolkit, and the only thing I ask in return is that you hit the subscribe button so we can continue to show this video to more people. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to share with you on the screen some valuable information about the toolkit. But before we get to that, I want to make sure that I share with you two numbers that I think are incredibly important for you to understand about your business. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but right now, I want to share with you two numbers that are going to change your entire perspective about your sales week and maybe even your career. Ready? Here's the first one, 38%. 38% of the leads that you purchase each and every week should be setting some form of an appointment. Plain and simple. Either using an appointment setter or using your own effort or a combination of the two, you should be sitting with 38% of your leads or setting 38% of your leads. Now, why is that important? Let's do some basic math on that for a second. If you were to purchase, let's just say 60 insurance toolkit leads and you were to set 38% of them as appointments, you should be sitting between 20 and 22 appointments. If you were to sit between 20 and 22 appointments per week and you were to sell half of those, gosh, that's an incredible income. Now, on the other hand, if you were to only purchase 20 leads a week, on that 38% number, you're only going to sit with between 5 and 7 people. If you only sit between 5 and 7 people, you might only close at most 3 applications. So which would you rather do? I would much rather sit with 15, 20, 22 people than significantly less. I think this is so important because I had an agent recently in my distribution and in my experience and in my mentorship who just up and quit. Like, this is no good, I quit. You know what the issue was? It was activity because he didn't have enough people to see. He wasn't putting in the activity, nor did he have enough people to see. So the lesson that I'm trying to share with you this morning, before we get into specifics on the toolkit, is that you have to make sure you have enough leads to see enough people to write enough business. Now let's take this formula a little bit more granular. The next number I want to share with you this morning is 20%. If you buy 60 leads, I'm doing the math on this right now, and 38% of them turn into appointments, and you close 20% of them, that's still 5 applications per week. And if you're writing an average premium of $72 a month on 5 applications, you're going to write at least $4,320 in final expense premium. If you can write $4,300 a week, you can make an amazing living in this business, regardless of the comp carrier, IMO, FMO, or any of that nonsense in between. You can write $4,000 of clean business a week, you're going to make an incredible amount of money. But where does that number come from again? Let's do it one more time. 38% of your leads should set an appointment with you, either through an appointment setter, through your own work, or a combination of the two. If that number isn't being hit, you need to dial into why and improve that reason. 20% of the people you present with in a face-to-face sale, I'm not talking telesales here, eye-to-eye, face-to-face, live human interaction, 20% of them should get something from you, from either final expense, Medicare, cancer, heart attack, critical illness, accident, grandkids, final expense, something. If you're not closing 20% of the people you present to, then come on to one of our trainings Monday at 9:45 or Friday at 1:15, and I'll provide you all the free training you need to get that number up as a subscriber to the toolkit. That link is going to be in the comment section below. Now let's get into the toolkit and share a few tips and tricks with you as well as I share my screen and we go over to the toolkit for our next maybe 5 minutes together. Now, one of the things I want to make sure that you guys are aware of, and you probably do know, is you want to make sure that you have the proper state. It's over there somewhere. The proper state set up when you're quoting. You probably know this. This is probably incredibly basic, but maybe somebody watching today is brand new and doesn't know. You want to make sure you have the proper state associated with the person you're sitting with or talking to over the phone. Now, while prices will not vary between states, that's the truth. Product availability will vary across different states. So if you got the wrong state in there, you're going to run the wrong quote and try to sell them the wrong product. That's my first tip for the day. Second is height and weight. Boy, this one's incredibly simple, but so important. 9 out of 10 final expense products have a build chart, a height and weight measurement. And this might be easy for a veteran to understand, but this might be critical for a new agent to learn. Most of the products you sell have height and weight restrictions. If you're not setting up the proper height and weight in the toolkit when you run the quote, you're not going to get reliable information. Just simply ask the question. And if you have to ask the question with your head down because you're afraid to ask it, that's fine too. But make sure you're asking height and weight, or you're going to be getting inaccurate information. Next incredibly basic tip I want to share is about smoking use. Obviously, some people smoke, some people don't. You want to make sure you're quoting correctly. Some carriers, very few of them nowadays, consider cigar smoking non-tobacco. There are also a couple carriers that do not rate for tobacco use, but you do want to make sure that you have the proper nicotine use selected. I got one more for you. Payment information. You see it right there, right? Over there, payment information. You got to make sure that you pre-qualify your prospect in the first 7 to 10 minutes of the conversation. Realistically, if you're not asking this question, if you're not finding this information out, you're wasting your time because they may not even be able to buy what you're trying to sell. You may quote the wrong product. You may completely botch what you're doing because you're not asking this early on. Do you have, when you get your Social Security, does it go direct deposit to a bank or to Direct Express, a green debit card? Just cut and dry. Keep it simple. Oh, I get mine direct deposit. Perfect. And what bank was that again? Wells Fargo? Perfect. Why is that important? Because certain carriers, most carriers, that is, most final expense companies do not accept Direct Express. You'll notice that right here in the section right here. Most companies do not accept Direct Express. If you're not quoting this properly, you're going to mess yourself up. You also want to make sure when you're writing Direct Express business, when possible, you're using a company that uses true Social Security billing. We discussed true Social Security billing in another video. If you're unfamiliar with what that is, go back in the toolkit, look in the live section, and find the video about true Social Security billing. So there you go. There's 3 quick and easy tips on the toolkit today. First of them being the proper state. Second, smoking. Third, method of payment. And remember these important numbers as you measure your week in the business. 38%. 38% of the brand new leads you purchase should set an appointment with you. So if you buy more leads, you'll see more appointments, right? And if you're not hitting that number between you and appointment setter or a combination of the two, time to work on improving the skills. 20% of the face-to-face presentations you sit with should buy something from you. And I'm going to add one more plot twist to that. Even if they don't buy anything from you, you should get a referral. You should get something out of 20% of the human interactions you sit with in this business. Questions on that, please let me know. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue to grow it. And I'll see you on our private trainings with the toolkit Mondays, 9:45 a.m. and Fridays at 1:15. Thanks for watching.